Hi, today we are going to look at some advanced developer workflows when using OpenCode. I hope you have OpenCode set up. If not, please check out this video here. And this video also tells you how to get access to some free models provided by OpenCode if you don't have a model configured in OpenCode. So OpenCode Zen has a lot of models and you can see all of them here. By default, it has picked up this free one called Big Pickle. I don't know what's the model behind it, but it's free, so I will use it. And there are also a bunch of other free models. Like I said, you can filter them by using this free command, and we get a lot of free models, and these are frontier models. These are huge models. Now we have the free models set up. Now we can look at what we can build with this. One of the first things that I would like to try is this shooter game, and let me try to build it out. So as you see, we are currently in the build mode. In this case, you have a plan mode and a build mode. And a good suggestion for using any of the AI coding agents is to start off with a planning stage. In this case, you have a plan mode and a build mode. So if you look at agents, there are two agents here, plan and build. These are natively supported by OpenCode. And later, towards the end of the video, we'll also see how we can build our own custom agent for different tasks that we want to perform. And here we would go ahead with the plan mode. Alright, let's get started with the first project using OpenCode. So I would like to plan to create a 2D shooter game similar to how we played probably arcade game, ML and board tracking and high score leaderboard. And what I want in this shooting is that's it. And off it goes into the planning mode and creating a plan. And as you can see, OpenCode has quite a nice color theme here, and this can also be configured if you like the theme/theme command, and you have quite a huge variety of themes available out of the box. I will stick to the default OpenCode theme, but there are also other themes that could be useful for anybody who's interested. As you can see here, it has planned to create a HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript game with keyboard movements, and yeah, for me this looks totally fine, but I would like to also provide some images. So there's an image from the internet that I would like to provide, and you can also provide this to OpenCode in this way. Like the plan, make sure the URL look retro like this game, and you want to see the thinking, so it's looking at the URL. It recognized that it's a Space Invader style retro game, and it's fetching the particular URL, but it could not read this. So let me try to see if I can save this, and I can try to say that okay, here the image, and probably the image, try to drag and drop an image PNG instead of a link. Okay, now let's see if it can do something with it. And in this case, I have, instead of providing a link to an image which is on the internet, I've provided the exact image downloaded and provided it from my system. Okay, so this model does not have the capability to look into images, so that's probably something we find about this Big Pickle model. Can't read images, but that's fine. If you have a model that can read images, then probably we could use that. It wants me to answer questions, and this is again one of the things that AI coding agents do, is clarify anything that they're not sure about. In this case, should the alien shoot back? That would be too difficult to play, but I want to keep it easy, one directional. Grid size, let's make it big. Shields, yeah, sure, shields, make it shield. Yeah, 3 initials, sounds good, just like an arcade. And here we did all my answers, and now creating a plan. Okay, so it's trying to create, it will create a self-contained index.html which would contain the whole game. Yes, sounds good. And now before you ask it to build, we can move to the build mode by hitting tab. Now you saw this changed here to build mode, and I think it sounds good. But before I build it, I like to save this plan so I can refer to it later, or the model can refer to it later. Put this plan into plan.md file, no change. So it's trying to write it to a file. Now it's written it into a file here, and if I want, I can see what's written. So this is an AI coding agent. The main interaction is through this chat box where you interact with the model or the coding harness, but we could also run commands that are on the shell, so shell command. And the way to do it is to press the exclamation mark, which brings you to the shell mode, and then type whichever command you like. So here I want to look at the files that are present, so I want to list the files, and this run and gives me that here I have the plan.md which is saved by the model. So if I want to do something more, like I want to look at the plan.md, I could also do that. So here is the plan.md which is fully written into this particular file. There's one way to interact with OpenCode and the command line. The way I like to do it is to have a particular editor which is also running on the side for me. And in this case, you can see that I have opened the terminal window as a split pane here, and here I would have NewVim, which is my editor of choice, which can run from the terminal, and open that here. If you like to set up NewVim or a terminal editor like this, you can look at this video where I go into a lot of depths about how to set this up and use it. So here you can see this is my IDE on the side just for me to refer, and here is my coding agent will do its thing. And if I want to keep the themes a bit in sync, I can just go to something that looks a bit more similar to my theme here and keep it consistent, but I don't care about that for now. So let's get into a build mode and ask it to follow the plan and implement it. So this is the thinking that it's doing. It's trying to think through all these steps, and probably it will get into the implementation. You know what? So it's taken this whole ASCII retro theme seriously, and it's trying to look at aliens or make aliens using ASCII characters like this. Interesting. I would be interested to see how it looks like on our website. Right, so it's created the game, it's implemented all these different things. It had quite a few to-dos it's created on its own to write the entire HTML and then verify that the game works in the browser, and it's created this single index.html file here to create it. Let's see if it can open it. I could open the HTML file in my browser, but I want to see if OpenCode can open it for me. Okay, so it did open it. I can press enter to start. Seems like it works. Now that OpenCode has generated the shooter game, if I'm happy with the game, I could do something like git commit and commit this feature, or I could undo this feature and undo this private message and then start back from where it left off. So if I undo this, you can see that it has removed all the implementation before I asked it to open the game. And in this case, I could undo further and try to go back in time before it implemented anything. In this case, before any implementation was done, right after the plan was created. But I was pretty much happy about what it did, and I could just redo this and go forward in time. But before I do that, let's look at this timeline feature. It gives us a brief timeline of how our conversation progressed. And in this case, if you see, started off with a plan, asked it to modify the plan with an image, and then create a plan.md file using the plan, and then implement it and open the game. So I could go back anywhere in this timeline and continue from there. If I want, I could revert or fork this session from this particular timeline step and then continue the conversation in another trajectory. So I can keep the conversation till a certain checkpoint and then continue in a totally different direction after that checkpoint. This is all pretty useful if you work on a large project and you want to change things around without having to redo the whole process right from scratch. Pretty useful. So I redo it all the way till the end of the timeline, and if you look at the timeline now, I'm at the end where I asked it to open the game, and I would like to probably commit this, and since this is not a Git repository, I'll try to initialize this as a Git repository, and here I use the shell command to initialize the Git repo. So here I will commit it. I could commit it myself, or I can just ask OpenCode to do it since we have an agent, and it will go ahead and create a Git commit for me, and does it much better than I would have documented it. It adds all the bullet points for all the features that it has implemented. If I were writing a commit message, I'd probably only be writing a single line, but here, this is the beauty of using OpenCode to do it. It has written down in quite a bit of detail what it did, and I like that. So if I look at the Git log, I can see the commit messages with quite a bit of detail here. Now we have a first version of the game here. As you saw, it allows us to do this, but let's say I want to make it a bit more interesting. I would want to add the alien to also shoot back, and this could make the game a bit more interesting. I'll let it run. So now OpenCode has made the changes, and it has also opened this game in the browser for me, and it looks like this. Let's see if it has the features that I want. Oh, see, it shoots me back now, and now it's a bit more interesting than what we had. Still not challenging enough to be an interesting game, but at least it's able to follow instructions and add the features that I wanted. At least it has light here and high score tracking. Yeah, you get the idea. It does what I wanted it to do, and interesting. Now, what I wanted to show you with this change is the timeline. So there are new messages on this timeline now as we changed it, but also we can look at the diff here inside this diff viewer that can be triggered using /diff, and here you can see the exact code changes that were made here, and I could switch around this view a bit. You can see that these are the places where it made these changes. This is just a nice way to look at the diff if I have to look at them. It helps. So since there is a terminal behind it, can also render the diff, and there are a few commands that I could look at. So we can press these shortcuts on the right to look at blocks that are connect using the closing bracket and previous using the starting bracket. Square brackets have to be precise. There's a single file, so there is no next file here, but if there are multiple files, you could use N and P to switch between the files, and also M to mark it as reviewed. I reviewed this particular file of its changes, and you can see that the color is grayed out, and you can look at a lot of other shortcuts using this question mark, and it could hide the file tree if you wish, show the file tree, patches, so on and so forth. So here you can see that I can switch between a unified view and a split view using the V command, a V key, and all of this is possible right inside OpenCode. You don't need to go to a terminal. You can do everything here. So now again, I would want to commit this and then move on to the next part of our exploration. All right, so we have it committed. So this was a very simple game that we created. So one of the first tests that I do for any model, any agentic coding pipeline, to see if it can do a few things. So I wanted to check if it can run through multiple files, create, edit, open up web browser, work with GitHub or Git in this case. Here I could also see that it could go back in timeline, go forward, undo, redo, all of this. Also look at the session, so error session, restart a session, all of that. And once I have made a certain bit of progress and I'm at a juncture where I have committed the code and I'm happy with what I have, I want to move on. I like to compress this context, so I wouldn't want to start with the same context where I have now around 75,000 tokens in this context. So I wouldn't want the model to drag this context along every time it needs to do something. So one way you can compress this context is by using this compact command, and what it helps is to compress this context so it only retains the most important part or summarizes it, and then next time we want to work with it, we can be a bit more efficient, and the model also can handle shorter context a bit better than these large contexts. So it's a good idea usually to compress the context and keep it compressed for any continuation that you want to do later on. If I wish, I could also share this session or even move this session to another directory if I wish. For now, I don't want to, but I would like to review it and see the changes. As you can see, it's working within a sub-agent, and the way to look at the sub-agents is to press Ctrl X and down, and this is what the sub-agent did. So when we asked it to review, it was given this huge system prompt saying you're a code reviewer, your job is to review code changes and provide feedback. So it would look through the uncommitted changes. So we don't have any uncommitted changes here, so there is nothing to review. But if we had done this a few steps back, we could have looked at the uncommitted changes and got some feedback. And here it's looking at this particular commit and reviewing that particular commit, and it's giving us a few observations, a few suggestions. So if you had to ask the model to work on these suggestions, we could do that. It's sort of like a self-improvement loop here. We ask it to review its work and then ask it to improve using that review comment. So this is all. Usually a good practice is when you start a project is to do a /init. We didn't do it in this case because I wanted to start without any additional context, but if I were to create a /init now, what it would do is look through all the files that are available in our context. And just to recap, these are the files that are available in our context, the plan and the index file, and it would create a agents.md file that is like a system prompt for the agent, and it's like a permanent system prompt that is persisted in the file. And the next time we want to start this project or resume or continue this project, it can look at this agents.md and continue from there. So this is the default agents.md file, and it's like a persistent memory for this project. And the next time we create a new project, we could also set up a new agents.md file with any new changes. So if I say that if I want to give it any particular instructions of do's and don'ts for this project, I can say take to ML, CSS, JavaScript to agents.md. And in this case, it would try to it has made this particular change, and it says pure HTML, CSS, JavaScript only, and it made that change to agents.md. So good practice to work with agents.md file is to keep adding and removing stuff and tweaking stuff as you work and you notice new things. If the model goes down a certain path that you don't like, you can put it into the agents.md file to guide it, so the next time it won't go down that path. So this project can be closed, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, you know the drill. See you in the next one.